favorite true crime?
Oh, I don't know. What's yours?
But you're also like very, very good at rugby. Now, what got you into that?
Yeah, I mean, we say very, very good. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Because I
Like,
think there's several in the circuit that we would all be like, spear.
no comment.
Jen, great to have you on. How you been keeping?
Thanks for having me. I am not too bad at all. How are you doing?
Yeah, one day at a time, as I say. Well, I've just been doing my usual, recording myself talking bollocks about Thomas and Tank Engine. I can't
Good
help.
time.
It's definitely a good time. I can't help that, the fans want to see me talk. I got told today that I was soothing and relaxing. Now you know me. When have those words ever came out of anybody's mouth when it comes to that? Soothing and relaxing.
Well, you must be soothing and relaxing someone, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, there must be some kids in America that are like, that Scottish guy is really soothing and relaxing. Anyway, we're not here to hear my soothing and relaxing tones. We're here to hear your soothing and relaxing tones and talk about your
Right.
origin story. Because the one thing we have in common is that we all have an origins. So, Jen, for my listeners, please tell us your origin story.
Oh, I'm from Belfast, if you don't recognise from the accent. So I was born there and I lived in Belfast with my mum and dad and my two brothers for up until I was like 18. And then I went to university here in Glasgow and I've essentially been here ever since. I guess part of the reason I stayed here was because I met my lovely wife during that time. So I suppose that that brings us up to date with the last 40 or so years, really.
Well, what were you studying at university?
I originally came to study history, but ended up doing a degree in sociology, and I did a wee bit of theatre studies um during my studies as well, which I enjoyed, but I didn't like keep it on, so I ended up doing a degree in sociology.
So, for anybody that's unaware, what is sociology, the study
Oh
of?
God, man, it was so long ago. It's hard to. Uh, so basically, society and like why people uh, do things. That's a terrible explanation. It was like 20 years ago.
Well,
Yeah, I remember I
considering
did.
how life is right now, that's probably the best explanation for what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah,
Why
I
do
did.
people
I
do things?
do things. I did a bit of criminology and like stuff around the media and things like
Yeah.
that. So, I
Eh,
was it was good, but I kind of I did mess about a bit.
mm.
At uni, I just enjoyed sort of getting away from home and stuff.
Oh, well, obviously you were over in Belfast before you came here. So what was it like growing up in Belfast?
Suppose it was like I was born in kind of mid 80s. It was just like normal. I wasn't like when people are like, "Oh, what was it like growing up in Belfast and like during the Troubles and stuff?" There wasn't like a lot that happened to me personally. But it was
Mm,
like everything was just kind of normal. There was probably things that happened that weren't really normal. Like, I remember like there was like gates you had to go through on certain streets,
mm,
like checkpoints and stuff like that. But it was just normal. It wasn't like weird. It was just the norm. And then those all like went away, obviously in the kind of late 90s. But it was
mm.
nice. I like Belfast now is a great place to go. I love visiting home. I always recommend like people should go and check out Belfast.
You said that it didn't seem weird when you were growing up, but then when things like changed, did that feel weird? Like the change around, or was it just, this is the new normal, we got to roll with it kind of thing?
Not to me, certainly. Like I'm sure for some people, depending on where they lived and things like that, that yeah, it would have there would have been a bigger deal and a bigger change. But no, to me, like I think my parents probably had more of experience of stuff. Like my mum, I remembered her telling me about one time like there was like a bomb scare. Actually, it was a bomb had went off like
Wow.
while they were out and about, kind of shopping and stuff. So
Mm.
that was kind of normal, but nothing like didn't experience anything like that really. So.
So you were talking about like how like you were going into criminology, so I've got to ask, like, favorite true crime.
Oh, I don't know. What's yours?
I'm quite fond of like the confession one, the confession tapes kind of series, where you hear like from like Ted Bundy, you hear from like Jeffrey Dahmer, like all those kind of ones, like you hear
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in their own words, like what their kind of mindset was and their psychology behind it. I think it says a lot about me that I can listen to stuff and I can be fascinated by it. But then again, I'm ginger and I don't have a soul, so yeah.
I really liked that one. Can't even remember the name of it. So this is useless. There's a guy. He was obviously crazy. And I think he killed his ex-wife. I think.
Mm,
But they recorded him. He agreed to do this like documentary, basically saying he had been wrongly accused and it wasn't him. But at the very end of it, he kind of went. They kind of caught him out because they'd checked his handwriting
mm,
and. He still had his mic on and he went away to the toilet and he was like, they've got me, they've got me. I can't
mm.
remember the name of it.
Was it the
Who
the
that guy was.
staircase?
Wasn't that, but that was another good one
Mm,
too. I enjoyed that.
yeah. You find out a lot of similar kind of things, like
Yeah, they all,
guy kills wife. Well, I
yeah,
didn't do it. Well, I you did, or no, you didn't. Well,
aye,
and
they all kind of
it's
blend
how
into
it turns
one.
round.
Yeah. The staircase one, was that where he blamed, there was a story that it was actually an oil at one point.
Something like that. Yeah, there was like a lot of kind of weird like stories around it, and but they were like, no, you did it, and he's like, no, I didn't. And then, well, eventually, kind of found out that he didn't do it, and then there was like, but was he really? But did he really
Aye,
do it? Well,
aye.
because I know that it was adapted into a series with Hugh Grant in it, and it was
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I was tempted to watch it, but then I was also like, I just watched Paddington 2.
Bit of a difference.
Yeah, he plays a douche in Paddington 2, but I don't want to see him as a serial killer just yet. I know he's
Not
got
ready
range.
for that.
It's like I know he's got range, but I'm not ready for it yet. But what made you want to study criminology?
I don't really know. I think I'd done a wee bit of. Do you know what it was actually? I was just quite interested in the whole sociology, criminology thing. But as I said, when I came to uni, I came to study history. But I chose my classes based on the time that they were at. And then when it
Mm,
got to like second year, I was like, I'm not able to do what I actually want to do because I messed about in first year choosing classes that were at a good time and not at
mm.
like 5 o'clock. So I ended up completely changing what I was doing, kind of restarting again, just for the fun of it. Yeah, so that's when I was quite interested in sociology. And it wasn't like a subject I'd done at school or anything, but I'd done a wee bit of it. Um, so I just decided, well, we'll go for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, bit of theatre studies. So
Well, it's quite interesting that like sociology and criminology are essentially why do people do things, just in totally different ways. So there is a link, like which will obviously we'll get onto your comedy as well, but I can see where the links of how good you are at observational humor. Like because if that's the kind of thing where you're studying why people do the things they do, you'll naturally pick up on what people do and make humorous situations out of it.
Mm.
But something else that I'd also really wanted to ask you about, and it's a great part about doing this show because you know me in real life, I'm feckin' shy and terrified of almost everything. But on here, I'm like, wait, hey, this is for producer role. Let's do this. But you're also very, very good at rugby. Now, what got you into that?
uh, yeah. I mean, when you say very, very good, I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Look,
Um,
I can barely walk the length of myself. Like the fact that you could do this, and I've seen like several pictures of you lifting trophies and being part of like winning teams. So don't sell yourself short. Like rugby is like a very intense and physical game. And something that like I just look at it and I get a hernia. So seeing you be able to do this is amazing. So I've just wanted to know what got you into it.
I'd never really played team sports or anything like that. Growing up, like I hated sports. I hated anything kind of fitness wise. And it wasn't until I was in like my 30s that I started to get into running and a bit more fitness stuff. And I started liking watching rugby, but never thought like would ever play it. Became season ticket holders for Glasgow Warriors. And um, I started going to like a over 30s rugby fitness thing. And it got me really into wanting to try it. So I ended up going along at the age of 35 to take up playing rugby for the first time. So yeah, I've been playing it for the last sort of 6 years or so.
That's absolutely amazing though. Like 35 years old, you're like, right, I'm going to start playing rugby. What?
Yeah,
You've been
it's
playing it.
ridiculous. It's a bit of a midlife crisis, obviously.
But I mean, in fairness, like the next midlife crisis we'll end up talking about is stand-up comedy. But the rugby stuff I'm really wanting to know about because it's just something that the second I saw like you did it, I was like, this is absolutely amazing. What?
Insane.
What? Bill, 50-50. Really. But it's something that it was just really fascinating to me. And what it's like, we know like a comedian that also does professional wrestling, and you know what I'm like with anything that's like kind of out with the norm.
Yeah.
I'm like a cat with rabies. I just jump on it. I'm like, right, I need to know everything about it. So, like, because I'll have like my dad will probably he'll act like he knows rugby and he won't have a clue, but he'll ask me these questions, so I'll ask for him. So, what position do you play?
I play in the front row, so prop, sometimes hooker, but usually loose head prop, sometimes tight head.
So how many trophies have you actually won?
Just one. We won the league last year, so we got promoted to a new league, where we're not doing so well at the moment, because we've stepped up quite a bit. So, uh, we've won the one trophy from the league last year. I won a wee medal at a tens tournament as well. So,
Oh
uh,
well.
but yeah, just the one, just the one. I think that'll probably
Hmm.
be me. I don't know how many more years I'll be playing rugby for, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's good, and I've met like lots of really great friends there as well. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it, definitely.
Yeah. In terms of like things like the after show parties for comedy, which is better, an after show party for stand up or like a post season like party for rugby?
I mean, after we won the league, I was quite badly behaved and celebrated a bit too hard. So I've not done anything like that, certainly after comedy gigs yet. Don't know what will happen there, but yeah, I definitely drank too much after we won the league and was not in a good way the next day.
In fairness, like I just want to see you like rugby tackle somebody at a comedy gig. Like
Oh,
just
you wouldn't do that.
like something like maybe like you just see somebody and you don't like them and you just like proper like tackling Alzheimer's patient on them just like, from the side of the stage. Like, because you know how like they always used to have like the big stick in the like in the cartoons and stuff like where we get them by the neck and off they
Yeah,
go. We just get you instead and you just spear them off the stage. We just have a crash pad at the side and you just go bump and get them. Because I
right.
think there's several in the circuit that we would all be like, spear.
No comment.
Yeah, that's why I make the comments, like, because I'm the one that can just be like, right, so she didn't say it, but maybe she's thinking it. We don't know. So, what got you into doing stand-up comedy?
What got me into doing stand-up? Like I've always enjoyed like performing and like, when I was younger, I would do like would go to families' houses for events, and I'd end up being what I would now describe as if I was now an adult and a child did this, that an annoying child putting on like a show doing like characters and things. So I've always kind of been into to like drama and performing and stuff. Did like drama at school, did an A level in it, and then after school, didn't really do anything at all for like 15 years. Always kind of wanted to, but I was just a bit scared. Like I hated going for auditions and things like that. So I just didn't really do anything. And then kind of early 2020, I started making stupid videos, like stupid, like charactery, sketchy things. And I was thinking back, I thought it was because it was during COVID and I had nothing else to do. But actually looking, I started doing it in January of that year. So it definitely wasn't pre-COVID. But I think during lockdown, I like got quite into it and just enjoyed that kind of thing. And then I did a writing course, like a comedy writing, like a short course with the Royal Conservatoire, just online. And it was like just touching on like sketch writing, sitcom stuff, and a bit of stand-up writing and like writing gags and things like that. And the guy taking it was like, I recommend that everybody, especially if you're in wanting to do comedy writing and things, you should try stand-up. And I thought, absolutely no way am I ever doing stand up. Like I'd rather die. So that happened, and I didn't think about it again. It was something that was kind of at the back of my mind, like maybe stop being a bit of a wimp and give it a go. But I didn't, and then actually did a work course on like presentation skills. And anytime I've been doing like a presentation in the past, I always try and bring a bit of humor into it because I feel like that brings my personality across. And you mentioned earlier about being shy, and like I am really shy and awkward.
Mm.
Um, when I first meet people, and I feel like a bit of humor kind of brings out the personality that they maybe don't think I have when they first meet me.
Mm.
And the woman taking that was like, "Have you ever tried stand up?" And I was like, "What?" Um, and that kind of again made me think, should give this a go, but I was just too scared. I was like, "There's no way I'm getting up and doing stand up." And then I saw, the algorithm on Facebook. It was like ultra comedy. Um, and I thought, let's just sign up for this. And part of
Mm.
it was raising money as well. So I was like, I raised money for charity. A friend of mine had passed away the year before, and I thought I'll be able to raise money for the hospice that she was cared for by. And I was like, then, you're doing it for charity. You need to do it. So I signed up, and that was it really.
So when you came and joined our like little motley crew like, of stand-up comedians, like, did you think like, what have I got myself in? Like, and
100%. Like that first session that went to, and there was loads of people there.
Mhm.
And there was obviously quite a mix of people and quite chatty, outgoing folk. And I thought, this is not for me. I've made a terrible, terrible mistake. But I stuck it out and I thought, keep going. And people kind of dwindled away from it.
Mm.
Obviously kind of split into the two classes, but
Yeah.
kind of got smaller. Um, and yeah, I'm glad I stuck it out. But that first class, I was like, I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, I was feeling the same. I think I had like two panic attacks before I went in, just into the
Yeah.
flat. I was like, I was in my car and I was like, okay, one panic attack. And then I got myself settled, got to like the entrance of the pub, and then had another one. And I
Hmm.
had to sit down. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to do this. I was like, just go in and see what it's like. And just as you said, there was like 50 people in that room,
Yeah.
and it was terrifying.
It's totally terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see what it was like a lot of them chatty, bubbly, outgoing. There was maybe three or four of us that were quieter, and it was
Hmm.
like, what the hell? But then, like I say, we got split up. Like I say, you were put into what the other class from me because
Yeah.
you went in the Mondays, didn't you?
Yep.
And I had my support group, so I couldn't go in the Mondays, so I went in the Tuesdays.
I had
But
rugby on a Tuesday, so that's why I went for Monday.
There we go. Like what we're just like crossing paths. But I
Yep.
remember like because we were on the afternoon show and you were on the evening, and it was literally just I was heading out and I just get because you came to I think one of the Tuesdays you came along
Yeah.
like just for practice and like even just watching it then I was like you're really good. It's like you just had that kind of like that kind of the dry humor about you, like
Mhm.
but I've seen obviously the observational side of your comedy, and you were just thoroughly enjoyable. Like you had such a good stage presence, but that filled me with major imposter syndrome because I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? It was like everybody here is so good, and I was like, I'm not.
Oh, no, not
It
at
was,
all. Like, I mean, the standard was pretty decent. Like,
mm,
obviously there's people who are kind of still doing it now, and I think everybody's in our little uh group, as we like to call it. I
it's
think
like
everybody in there is good. There are people who haven't continued maybe and maybe, dabbled, did it, wasn't for them.
there's a few of them that are still obviously like you check on them and they support you and they want to see what you're doing and stuff. And then there's our ones that were really hammering it. Then our ones were like, we'll just take it a wee bit slower and see how we go. How many gigs is it that you've done now?
I don't really count them.
Smart
So I
move.
don't I don't know actually. I know people are
Mm,
like this gig number, whatever. I did that for a while and I've not lost count in a way that like I've done so many. I don't know.
mm,
I'm just picking a number out there. I don't know, 30 or something like that. So
mm.
not loads, but
But with the, like the your lacking of quantity, you've certainly made up for in quality.
Stop.
Like, no, so like some of the ones that you've done, like, got to give yourself a pat in the back. Well, I'll give you the pat in the back because I know that you won't, because I'm exactly the same. It's like, because well, you've done the stand, like you're going to be going back to doing the stand. You've just done your Edinburgh Fringe run, well, with Lady Bits as well. You did that at Glasgow Comedy too. Well, by the time this comes out, we'll be getting well, closer to like tail end of the year. You'll have more gigs to come. 2026 is going to be like a massive year for you as well. What you're absolutely smashing it.
Thanks. I do feel a wee bit uncomfortable, but
Believe me, I
yeah.
know because I would be in the same position, but that's why I love doing it. It's like because I can give people the compliments that I know that I couldn't like give like if I was face to face because I'd be like, yeah, she may spear me. I shall
I
hold.
wouldn't do that. I'll just like yeah,
Just like,
curl up into a ball.
it was quite funny there because like see when you did that, like the camera zoomed right in on you as if like, way. Let's see if she curls up into a ball yet. It was quite funny.
Seen it do that. I don't know why it's
I'm like,
following me about.
I'm like communicating. It's like I'm telekinesis through the camera, just like, hey, let's just get you, let's get it right in your face. Or it was like, she's shy, the algorithm's listening,
Let's
and
zoom
we
in on her
go.
face. Mm.
Yeah. So, how did you feel when you first did the stand?
Like it, I wouldn't say it was like one of the better gigs that I did in terms of how I felt. Like it was great
Mm,
atmosphere, but I don't know. There's just this thing about oh, it's the stand, and it. I don't know. It feels like they're really strict with the time, so you're panicking a bit about yes, must be within my 5 minute slot.
mm,
But I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. It was good. Then I went back. Yeah, I wouldn't say either of those two were like my best gigs that I absolutely nailed it, anything like that at all.
mm.
But yeah, they've invited me back for another shot. So
Yeah, well, and that's the key thing. If they like you, that they will ask you to come back, and that's a good thing. But did you get the whole thing about, you've got to your 5 minutes when you get to four, you're gonna get the flashing light, and then if you go, they'll give you X amount of time over your five, and then they'll play the music,
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
I was like,
Well,
oh my God.
it sounds very overwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Did you make it off before?
I did. I think I maybe just went and rushed through my set a wee bit.
Mm,
But yeah, I'm gonna try and play it a bit more cool this time.
mm. Well, in fairness, like the only time that I did the stand, like literally, I finished my last joke, and that was when the music hit. So, but I was like, perfect, bang on time for me. Bow, off I went. The host came on and clearly thought that I'd overshot and was doing the calming the crowd down thing to try. He was like, don't worry, like, he wasn't shy or anything. And I was like, oh crap, thought they were perfectly fine. Well, and it just killed the mood entirely. And I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, I am never getting back on that stage again. I was like, I don't drink a lot, but I could really use alcohol right
I
now.
really do want to drink right now. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
it was definitely one of those ones. But so tell me a bit about like the Lady Bit show that you and like, some of the gals have came up with for that you've done at the comedy festival. You'll be doing the next comedy festival and the Fringe. How did that come about?
I think so. Some of just the ladies from the comedy course, the ultra course, um, there is a bit of a overwhelming number of men in comedy and non-comedy lineups, and just thought let's do an all female show. And
Mm,
obviously there is like other all female shows around Scotland and like there's Material Girl on at the stand every month. But yeah, we just wanted to put something on that was just kind of all of us just talking about like our experience, not necessarily things that were, about women or anything like that, just our experience from our point of view as women.
mm,
And yeah, when we did it at the comedy festival, it was really popular. It was a sold out room and it was such a great vibe. And I have to say, like any all female gigs that I've done have been the best vibes. I've not done that many, Lady Bits
mm,
and another one at Blackfriars, but
mm.
they've just been good vibes.
It's like, and then you obviously took it to the Fringe as well, and it was another very successful run at that as well. And you had a bit more like flexibility with the lineups this time. You had like other female comedians on as well.
Yeah, yeah, we brought a few other people in, which was really nice. I think that's kind of we would like to take that forward to have it a bit of a thing that we put on shows, however often, and have like guests on other women in, throughout Glasgow, Edinburgh, throughout Scotland.
Mm,
I think that would be, the ideal situation. But yeah, we it's just nice, and it's nice being able to like do it with people that you know, and then other people that you've met along the way to invite them in too. So yeah,
hmm
it always feels just nice, good vibes.
And it was with our like kind of our comedy group, we were quite blessed that there was such a diverse range of comedians. Like, because a lot of people like seem to think, that comedy is very inclusive. Like, and from the outside looking in, it's definitely trying to be. But you've touched on it yourself. Like, there still is like a real stigma like around it being just straight white guys, essentially. Like, and
Definitely.
I know normally like I stick my foot right in my mouth when it comes to these situations. So usually I do keep stum, but I do support and agree with it 100% that there needs to be more diversity. That's the point of stand up. That's the point of like performing in general.
Mhm.
That's why I gravitated to it because I wanted to find out more about people and meet new people and hear different takes and different experiences
Yeah.
as well. Ginger's a minority. We're only 2%. It's like I count kind of, but not totally. I do get there's still base privilege. But it's one of those ones I always feel like hesitant to speak up about it. But it was when I found out that's what you were doing, like your show, like your Lady Bit show, and getting some banging female comedians on the set. Like, I had none but respect for you. Like you absolutely smashed it. Like the audience turnout proved it. Like you've done like Glasgow. Like you had a trial at Falkirk as well. Falkirk Comedy Club was one of the
Yeah.
testers before Fringe as well.
Yeah.
He's planning on doing any other ones.
Going to be at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, as you said, in March. Probably do something in the lead up to that as well, but nothing planned at the moment for Lady Bits. But yeah, um, I'm sure we'll do something in the lead up to the comedy festival.
You mentioned like one of the other like kind of female led nights. So that was at Blackfriars, wasn't it?
The one that I did the fresh comedy during like around International Women's Day. They had an all women's
Mm,
lineup, so I did that. And then the other night I mentioned was the Material Girl, which is at the Stand monthly too. Yeah,
mm.
I've not done that one, but I've been to see
Yeah,
it a few times.
yeah. That's one of the ones. It's like hint, hint, get Jen on. But there's points here that need to be made.
I'm sure if I'm also very like I don't I mentioned earlier like about doing drama and stuff and not wanting to ever audition. I don't like ask. The
Mm,
problem is here I don't like asking because I get knocked
mm-hmm,
back to things, which I need to get over. I think if I want to be doing stand up, I need to get over that. Um,
mm,
but yeah, that's a me problem, as they
mm.
say.
But at the same time, like you've found your way around it instead of like, going and essentially trying to get the scraps. Well, as a lot of us do, we go like, oh, we'll try and get this 5 year, we'll try and get this 5 there. You've went out and you've created opportunities for yourselves. And
Yeah,
that's what makes or breaks it. And you've done that, like you've all done it, and you're such a great group, of ladies, and lady bits, as I may say, and you just you smash it every single time. Like your humor is always really sharp. You're on point with the topics and things that you talk about. I mean, you're all a joy to listen to.
yeah, everybody is. Like some yeah, everybody's just always really great to listen to, and it's the group that, even if you've heard the material a million times before,
Mm,
you're always like, I love this bit's great, and you're ready to laugh, or you're ready to like see how other people react to because you're like, this is so good.
hmm
um and I really like that when it's your friends and you know what's coming, but you can
hmm
really appreciate it. I
Yeah,
really enjoy that.
definitely. So we are starting to come up in time. So I'll round off by asking you the question that I ask all my guests. If you could give one piece of advice to anybody that's struggling with mental health issues at this point in time, what would that piece of advice be and why?
I mean, probably most people say this about, talking, speaking up. I do think it's really important. And I think part of that is, I think sometimes you think that you're the only one or you're the only one who's experiencing something. Then you talk about it and you realize somebody else is going through something similar. And it's not to say that people have got the same issues going on or, or everybody's in the same situation, but I think it really helps that sometimes you feel alone in what you're experiencing. And once you chat about that and somebody goes, oh, that's happened to me, or I felt like that, or this is, or comparing antidepressants,
Mm,
like, oh, I'm on that too, or that kind of thing. It's just that you go, oh, it's not just me. So I think that part of kind of opening up really helps about hearing what other people are going through too. I think,
mm. It's very true. And I know I say it to everybody like it is a cliche, like about the talking, but it's because it's true and it does work. But you need to keep reinforcing it because sometimes you do forget. I mean, I'm no saint. Like I always preach about talking, and then 9 times out of 10, I will shut down or I'll
yeah,
feel like, yeah, my problem isn't worth it compared to somebody else's or what's going on. But you always have to try and talk yourself around and go, "Look, if it's a problem to you and it matters to you and it's important to you,
yeah,
it's important. That's the
yeah,
bottom line."
totally, totally.
And that's why like I try and get these shows back up and running and why like when I ever do it, I try and use it to raise a platform for mental health awareness because performing was my escape. Like if it wasn't for performing, I probably would still be mute to this point. I barely spoke. And now some people are like, well, he ever feckin' shut up. But I found my voice through doing performing.
Yeah.
And even though it still scares the crap out of me, even though like half the time I am having anxiety attacks or going like, I could someone please hug me before I collapse or just to just hold me up because my legs are about to give way. There is no better feeling in the world than going up and kind of realizing that you've got a voice and you've got a damn good one as well.
Yeah,
And
100%.
And that's what I've loved to see when we've done stand up and when I've done stand up with you as well. But because we kind of vibed in that sense where we're both like, we're both anxious, we'll both nod, and we know we're not being dicks. We're just anxious,
Yeah,
nod. And then we
totally.
kind of got to speak more and we got to do some stand up together and do a lot of good gigs together. And it was when we did the Blackfriars one, the advanced one. And it was like it was me, and then you were going on the headline, and I was like, yes, this is good. I know that you're going to absolutely slay this and end this on a high, and you did. You were absolutely fantastic.
Stop it, you stop it. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that course again and the Blackfriars gig, and it was really nice to have
Mm,
a couple of friendly faces like yourself on there that you know. Because again, going into that room, it was like hmm, anxiety again. But
hmm.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Well, Jen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and thank you so much for agreeing to be part of yet another one of my mad projects.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure to chat to you.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate it, and I will no doubt be seeing you on the comedy boards because even if I'm going to be stopping performing it, I will be coming along. I will be watching, probably filming as well. Because like Paula basically went, "Why didn't you film our gig?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll film it. Don't hit me. Don't get Jen to spear me."
I would
But
never.
no, well that's it. Like official now. Like this is video. It's legally binding. Well, until next time, everybody, I've been Andrew Durnan. This has been the amazing Jen Thompson-Ross. If you're ever let out for Glasgow comedy, let stand up, go and check her out because she's absolutely amazing. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.